Welcome guys to John's Football Channel. This is your post review of Chelsea versus PSG. Chelsea ended up losing 3-0 in the Champions League last 16. Well, 3-0 on the day, 2-8 on aggregate. It's a very shocking result. Been trying to think what I'm going to be talking about in this post review. How did the game actually go? How did this actually happen? Been trying to think what went wrong. Where did it all start to go wrong? I'm trying to look at the stats. Maybe the stats showed anything, but the stats didn't really show much of a big change as to why we deserve to have lost 2-8 on aggregate. So let's get into this post review and let's analyze the team sheets. So starting off, Chelsea went with let's start with PSG. PSG went with Hakimi, Marquinhos, Paco and Mendes, Neves, Vitinha, Emery, Barcola, Dembele and Vasquilla. Then with us, we played Sanchez, Cucurella, Hato, Chalaba, Sarr, Santos, Caicedo, Neto, Palmer, Enzo and João Pedro. Yeah, so minute 1, they ended up scoring, or not minute 1, 6 minutes in, they ended up scoring the goal. I think with that goal, me trying to think back at it, I think it goes back to basic defending from Sarr. In terms of, you shouldn't, if you have a dangerous man on you, and you might not be able to fully confidently control it. Yes, sometimes you think you are gonna, and then you end up not. But I think in terms of defending, for example, if you don't have no one behind you, I think the one-on-one football you were taught, just get rid, just clear it, boot that thing back into their box, and let's fight from there. So I think that's where it went wrong from the start. I think Sarr tried to overdo it, tried to control the ball. I think we also teased them a bit too much. If you look at all the times where we've lost the ball, we're busy teasing them. We're giving them an opportunity to get the ball. And normally we don't do that. We're not supposed to. Normal football, you don't allow that your opposition to get near the ball. You protect the ball with your body. If you can't, I think somehow you need to play it off someone, play it to someone or something like that, away from the opposition. Then we get into the second goal. This is where I think at the edge of the box, Hakimi ends up playing it to Barcola, and then Barcola ends up having a ball that was just bouncing, and then I think he just says, screw it, let me just shoot. And somehow it gets to the roof of the net and makes it 2-0 in the first half. Then we end up, they took off Neves, they put off Malulu into the second half. I think by then they already knew it was wraps. We were already losing 3-0 in the first game, and then for us to lose 2-0 in the second, we would basically have had to score 5 just to even think about the next round. But yeah, then after in the next half, we also made subs. We brought on Chiangpong, and then also they took off Barcola and bringing on Du. And for some crazy reason, we ended up taking off Enzo, João Pedro, and then playing Liam Delap and Romeo Lavia in the second half. And then we also took off Cole Palmer and brought on Garnacho. And then as soon as that happened, 3 minutes later, they ended up getting another goal with Semu Mulu. I think there was obviously a goal where you just take a shot, it was outside the box, the ball, you don't actually have any rhythm at that stage, the ball's dead on the floor. So there's nothing else you can do other than shoot, unless you move the ball around and then actually start recycling the ball again. So with Mulu, I think it was a very good thing that he did. I think the ball fell to his feet, shoot, and rightfully he did, and it went up corner. And I think that's where we were eventually dead, losing 3-0 in the first leg, losing 3-0 in the second. I think it just killed us. Then Dembele comes off, Ramos comes on, Nuno comes off, Lucas Hernandez comes on. Then for some reason we took off Cucurella, we put on Tosin, and then Vasquilla came on for Kang-in Lee. So yeah, guys, let's take a look at how this actually happened. I think let's start with us. I think PSG obviously went with a very same team. There was nothing that was different, nothing to surprise us. Limousinho should have prepared for this team. I mean, we all knew more or less this is the team that we were going to be playing. Nothing much changed. So let's take a look at ours. Sanchez, I think the mistakes that I mentioned in the preview is exactly what he did. It was so irritating to see in this game. The times where we put him under pressure, not that much pressure, but we gave him the ball, and we know that they were going to close us down. What does he go and do? First instincts, get rid, and doesn't get rid of in terms of, okay, let me play to one of the players that are in a proximity where we can win it and we can actually be on the offensive. No, he just puts it anyway, puts it out, puts it ahead of our players, which was so pointless, and it's so immature from our goalkeeper to do that, to lose the ball so carelessly. We cannot be losing the ball like this, especially in big games like this, where you cannot be doing so stupid mistakes. And then I think also Liam de Ricina didn't set up our team to, I don't know if it was a case, it feels like he was undermining PSG's quality for some reason. How do you undermine a team like this, knowing that you're already losing 3-0 in the first leg? And what they did to us. Why would we play Saw? Why would we play Saw, Chalaba, and Hato? We should have obviously went with the right back. Where is the right back? Champon was on the bench. Even if we played him, let us at least play him for 45 minutes if he can hold 45. If he can, I'm sure he's on the bench. He should be some way, form, or fit. Even if he was playing for the first 15, play him. We definitely needed a right back. Even between, I don't know if Cucurella or Hato can play that position right back, but something's better than nothing. Saw and Chalapa are not right backs. Not even Caicedo is a right back. So why the hell are we playing them there? And we know Goskelia was attacking us on that wing. He was creating 2v1s against us. And actually that was the reason why they ended up getting the first, I think probably the first 2 goals, was because we were allowing them down on that flank. Caicedo and Enzo, decent, I would say decent game. I don't think they did actually anything wrong from the two of them. And nothing that I could have seen that merited them for me to actually say, no, you guys were doing nothing. You guys did nothing, absolutely nothing. No, I think Caicedo did try. I think him and Santos did try to move the ball. I think there was opportunities where you could say that Caicedo and Enzo should have known, with the experience and the quality they have, they should have been, no, okay, there's a man behind me, there's no one, let me turn, and all of these things. And it's also a collective thing that where everyone else around him is like, hey, there's a man on you, play back to me, hey, listen, go, you have no man on you, play on, turn, those kind of things. But they didn't. I mean, it was unnecessary. It was not allowing us to face the opposition, and it caused us to take a bit longer to turn and actually to move the ball around, for us to actually hurt them. Because at the times when we were turning, when Caicedo and Santos were turning and looking up, they were playing the ball into Santos, into Enzo, and to Palmer and to Neto, and we're actually threatening in those chances. It also felt like us going with this weird back 3 formation. It also felt like we didn't have enough players up front. When I looked up front when we were about to attack, I said, wow, we only have maybe 1 or 2 players against their whole defense. Something, guys, are we a man down? Obviously that wasn't the case. We weren't a man down, so where the hell is the rest of the team? So I think also it's a question of the formation. When I look at this game, I also think of the way we were open between our midfield and our defense. What I was mentioning that we should have done to them is exactly what they did to us. Our midfield and our defense were miles away from each other, and that shouldn't have been the case. We're supposed to be compact. I know we were going for the result. I know we were trying to get the jugular, especially after the first 2 goals that went in. But I think also we shaped up, and I don't know if this is recently, but it's exactly when I saw this game, I just kept thinking about Frank Lampard. When Frank Lampard was in, I think it was the second time, when he was the manager or the head coach for Chelsea, we all remember that his midfield and his defense were very wide and very open and very exposed. And this is a very similar thing. I don't know if maybe he has been getting advice from Frank Lampard, but it definitely reminded me of back then. João Pedro, I think João Pedro also could have done a bit better at times. You can't actually fault him for some things. Some things you could. I think it just depends. There were some times when you just fall over. There was contact, but it was not hard enough contact for him to warrant a penalty or anything like that. It is a question of that he just fall, that he not have enough momentum or enough strength to keep his body upright in those periods where they actually were pushing against him, or was it just a chance of him saying, okay, let me just try my luck with the referee? It was very dodgy from him, but I suppose if he tried, but I think also if he could have, like the commentator did say a couple of times, if you're in the box and you know you can play to someone, try. There's no point of you trying to fall and then try to ask for a penalty when you don't actually get one. So yeah, guys, it was a very weird game. I think we tried to man mark them, which we shouldn't have. I think we should have. I know we were chasing the game. Obviously, we were chasing the game, so it was a completely different ball game because we couldn't necessarily escape. So we're gonna be compact and sit back. But I think at moments, I think especially in the first game, in the first half, maybe before the first goal was scored, I think that's what we should have done. I don't think we were doing that from minute one. We should have been more compact. Just let's ease into the game. Let's see how many chances we can create, and from there we can actually start man marking them and whatever to see how the game's being played out. How are they attacking? Are they actually pressing, or are they taking their sweet time? From minute one, they were actually on us. They were actually, you could say, at 90%. It's only way in the second half where their level started to drop. They knew they had the game wrapped up. They didn't have much left to do in this game other than keep a clean sheet. So yeah, guys, let me know down below what you guys think they should have done, what we should have done differently. When I look at the stats for this game, we had 18 shots overall compared to PSG's 8. Can you imagine? We had 18. We had 10 more shots than them. Three shots went off target for both PSG and Chelsea. 9 shots were on target for Chelsea. 9. They only needed 5, and out of those 5, they already put 2 away, 3 away. So it just shows you our conversion rate is very, very poor. We had 6 shots blocked, 10 shots inside the box, 8 shots outside. I think considering as well, 8 shots is not a lot of shots. It's probably, I can say 4 in the first half, 4 in the second. I mean, for 45 minutes, you're taking 1 shot every 10 minutes. That's a lot of time. You're not actually creating chances. I think there was times where we had players cutting in. I think they should have. There was an instance where Garnacho did shoot, but I think it obviously went wide. I think we definitely need to keep doing that. We definitely need to shoot more. Even Cancelo in the second half, he got frustrated. What did he end up doing? He ended up shooting. I think that was one of our best chances with that he ended up shooting. I'm sure we always got worried and then said, "Oh wow, is this a goal?" And then I just passed the second post. Then it went in. So we need to keep shooting, especially people who we know can shoot, like Caicedo. And then expected goals, ours was 1.26, there was 1.9. We had a lot of our stats with theirs was not very far apart. So I think hence why everyone's questioning what went wrong in this game, because the stats are showing a different ball game. The stats are basically saying a draw or a very too close 2-0, 2-1-0 victory or loss, not saying a 3-0. So I think it is a question of if we were doing the basics, what did we do wrong in exactly that caused us to lose so heavily? I do think it was like I mentioned earlier, what Liam Rossinho was doing. I think he left us very exposed, and I think he didn't start this game with a very good team. I think I would have wanted Jorgensen to start. I don't see him on the bench. I don't know if he's injured or anything. Not that I'm aware of. But I think Jorgensen should have definitely started this game. Even if Sanchez didn't, I think if Sanchez did start this game, I think even in the second half when we knew we were really losing, I think from that game we were really supposed to have brought Jorgensen on. But yet again, subbing goalkeepers is an extra sub being wasted. So it's pointless. I mean, in the Champions League, you need to get your team sheets and lineups correctly the first time around. So yeah, guys, very weird game, very weird leg overall in terms of both legs. Us losing 8-2, crazy results, disappointing. Yet again, we also saw Todd Bowley at the stands. I truly believe no person can sit there knowing you backing What kind of person would want their own team to lose? I truly believe if it is anyone in the football club that doesn't care, it's probably the other owners. I don't believe Todd doesn't want the best for Chelsea. If he didn't, I don't think we would ever see him at the grounds. I wouldn't be there. Would you guys be there? Would you guys be wanting to watch shit happen? No. If you guys make shit, no one's gonna actually want to see it because you know you did it. So I think hence why it doesn't make sense for us to also be so quick to attack him and say, no, you are that, when yet the man is clearly by his actions are proving to us that he actually cares by actually pay attention and actually watching his team and sitting there and watching his team play. So yeah, guys, this is my post review of the game. Let me know down below what you guys think of the game. We're gonna only next thing now is to go pay attention to the next game against Everton. We definitely need to fix our form. Our form is going very bad. 2 losses in the last 2 games. We can't keep this up. We definitely need to get a bounce back with Everton and continue our fight for Champions League next season. So yeah, guys, this is my post review. Peace.